Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Atlanta sending its offense out for the first time, and for the first time since 2008, it's a rookie who will handle things at quarterback. Out of Cincinnati, the third-round pick, Desmond Ridder.
And you know how scouts always talk about checking all the boxes? I think this young man does exactly that when you're looking for an NFL quarterback. Proven leader. Teams went 43-6 while he was in college. Has speed, dual threat ability, and production off the charts while he was in school, and also did a nice job of limiting turnovers. When you put it all together, there's a lot to be excited about for this young quarterback.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Now this throw caught left side. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Let's go, y'all. Here we go. Here we go.
Back to throw now on first down. And complete to Drake London. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. 1st and 10, it's Patterson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, a run with Patterson. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Gets this to Ferkser, the tight end. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. Short completion, just 4 yards. And it'll be 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And that is no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. Huntley to throw. It's complete to Robinson. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
A man who missed all of 2021, this is J.K. Dobbins. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Pass is tipped, but he's still able to bring it in. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, 48 yards. And the Ravens get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From out of his end zone, it's Avery Williams. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And they were in field goal range last time out, but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals. No doubt about it, a really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Now back to throw. He's going to look deep down the field and unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen 1 touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
On 4th down, Bradley Pinion on to punt for the Falcons. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they'd really have all the momentum on their side.
And you just wonder right now, is the quarterback and the play caller totally in sync? Are they of one mind that, hey, what worked last time? Let's keep doing it until they stop us. Or do they go to a different section in the playbook, show them something different? Either way, they want a repeat of their first drive.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw, Huntley. Flush to his right. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first two throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Huntley. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And that is how you respond after taking one on the chin to begin this game. Give up a first drive touchdown, go back out on defense, and completely shut them down to force a 3 and out.
Fourth down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. Avery Williams deep for Atlanta. Taken in at the 22. Gets around him. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And it will be Falcon football. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38.
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today, but sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, they don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. In a sense, less can become more, and it was right there.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Straight ahead, Patterson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Here's Patterson again. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll run with Patterson. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
So on 4th down, Ritter heads to the sideline. Younghoe Koo gets set for the Atlanta field goal. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. Koo knocks this one through the post. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Come on. Hey.
On second down, a run with Dobbins. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Right back to Dobbins on first. Oh, nice move. Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give him 17 on that pickup.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. Dances by him. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. An option handoff here to Dobbins. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 59 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Tyler Huntley, a 3-yard run as he kept it himself, as his guys are able to extend their lead. He hit him earlier in this first quarter with his arm. Now he does it with his legs.
Right now, he's one of those stat stuffers that you see on the basketball court. You know, the guy with points, rebounds, assists, steals. One with the arm, one with the legs. Let's see if he can continue this pace.
And sending out the reminder that, yeah, look, I'm known for having an arm, but I can do it with the legs on occasion when I need to. Tucker now for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
They'll be going for 6.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll set up to throw. Kaderl Hodge has it complete. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. His throw incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Patterson, he'll try it up the middle. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD.
Obviously, Brandon, they couldn't get it all back with just one score, but that touchdown chips into the lead, and now it makes the comeback a little bit more manageable.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Taken in at the 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. Offense begins another drive here. Pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. It sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments. If you're a good football team, you spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option. Here to right at the 40-yard line. 77 yards on the ground here for Dobbins, and a first down coming up.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Huntley. And that's going to be caught. It's James Prochet. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 42. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. They'll get 4 back there on the run, but now they're looking up at a 3rd and 12 situation.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Operating from the gun, Huntley. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Nick Kwiatkowski in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
Even keeping the back in for extra protection on 3rd down, they still couldn't prevent the sack. Now it's 4th and long thanks to a terrific individual effort on defense.
Out now is a punter, Jordan Stout. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They're going to start the drive here on the ground with Patterson. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
2nd and 6. Over the middle, he gets it to Patterson. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Patterson running between the tackles. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll look to throw. Got a man. It's Patterson, complete. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He's got a man. It's Ferkser, the tight end. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, a 22.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Back to the ground now. Patterson. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. He'll look to throw. Pass complete to Bird out right here. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll drop to throw. Complete to Zacchaeus. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you?
A handoff for Patterson, down at the 25.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Once more, they turn to Patterson, and he's going to be down close to a first down at the Ravens' 20-yard line.
Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with third down coming up.
He had to fight for every yard on that run, shook himself free of a tackle, and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
He'll drop to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. So an interesting decision at this stage of the game to go for it. You think maybe that missed field goal earlier had anything to do with it?
If it did, I'm really surprised because usually one miss is not enough to alter your game plan. My only thought is maybe he got hurt, or maybe they just understand that it's not his day for some other reason we don't know right now. But in general situations, you run him back out there and let him have another chance.
Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
They'll run up the gut with Dobbins.
And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
On 3rd down, Huntley. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson.
And this one is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Jordan Stout now.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck.
And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through.
And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked up by Brandon Stevens. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Bronco switch. Bronco switch.
A give up the middle to Dobbins.
And some space here.
And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. 96 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, "I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along."
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Well, that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
He'll decide to keep this once more.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
Tyler Huntley
with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And they're able to add on to their advantage. Well, Charles, he's already proven that he's not afraid to tuck that football down on the option, and he's into the end zone for the 2nd time in the game.
And that's exactly what you need from your quarterback. The ability to run the ball fearlessly. And in fact, many quarterbacks will tell you running the football doesn't scare them. Standing in the pocket and taking blindside hits, that's what terrifies them.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and a 9-yard run on the end of it. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback.
Atlanta now coming out on the field.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. A shotgun handoff to Patterson, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on 1st down, then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
And this offense on 3rd down today, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. That's complete to his... And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
An option handoff here to Dobbins.
This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
On 3rd and short, they'll try option left. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28.
Holding offense.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Looking to throw. Huntley. And that will be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. Tucker's kick is good, and the lead grows to 14 at 24-10. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, their offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. And here now come the Falcons. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They're going to look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Bird. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Starting to rack up the yardage here in this first half. 5 catches now and a first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Let's go.
They'll look to throw now on first down. That's taken in by Ferkser. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Still all sorts of time left in this game, and you'd like to be able to say take it one play at a time. But the truth is, they're probably going to have to hit on a few big plays in the passing game to close this gap, and that's a good start right there.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here's a give to Patterson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Patrick Queen got in there to stick him. He gets the sack. Well, you're already up a couple of scores here in the first half defensively, and Charles, they just seem to be playing really free on that side of the football.
I love the observation because with that type of a lead, they feel like they can take a few more chances and be even more aggressive, and it's been paying off for them so far this game.
Ritter and the Falcons need an answer, and a big play here on 3rd and long following the sack.
Looking to throw. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Bird. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. They'll hit 11, but it'll still lead the field down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away.
Hill going to think better of bringing this one out, and the drive will start at the 25. J.K. Dobbins leading the way as the offense returns to the field.
He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Back to throw.
Huntley. That's into the hands of Crochet. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Huntley to throw. That one complete to Crochet.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
To throw, Huntley.
And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away.
And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. The Falcons now going to go on offense late in this first half. And Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here. But with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. But they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll set up a throw.
Another completion right back to Patterson. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I like his awareness in the pocket there. Nowhere to go with the football, so instead of forcing it to the sideline, he's just going to put this one into the harbor and live to fight another down without getting wet.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw.
Over the middle, caught by London. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll look to throw again. They'll roll him out right. Throw out right, taken in by Patterson. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Looking for the end zone. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Demir Bird as the first half is winding down.
And the Falcons are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Well, partner, I mean, if anybody was still questioning whether or not he had an NFL caliber arm, I think you can toss that right out the window. That was a heck of a throw right there.
I would agree totally. Question it no more. This rookie, big-time throw right there. Great poise, stepped up, trusted he could lay it in there perfectly, and he knew that his guy was going to make the catch on the other end. Nice collaboration.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to our downtown Orlando studios and this EA Sports Halftime Report. First, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Falcons. And I can imagine the halftime discussions are about how can we improve the running game. They have not had success so far, and it's reflected on the scoreboard.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. Taken at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards, and they'll be left with a second and about a foot. Now an option play, and he'll keep it. There he goes, left side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Tyler Huntley, 68 yards. And the Ravens come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter.
Brandon, you and I have called a lot of college football in our day, but on Sundays here in the NFL, doesn't it look a lot like what we used to see on Saturdays when we called those games?
Yeah, option plays just like we saw, and that was a long touchdown of the option. What you taught me, though, defensively, you get your eyes in the wrong place on a play like that, you're in trouble.
What's the term that's in vogue in the NFL? Eye violations. The offense wants you to put your eyes in the wrong spot so that they can appear on others.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a two-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out. And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. That'll be caught downfield by Bird. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That third down conversion good for 23.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on third down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Give to Patterson running to the right. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 48 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now back to throw. He's got his tight end over the middle. That's Ferkser. And they eventually get to him at the 17 after a pickup of 17 into the red zone. First down.
And that's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the first down.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Kyle Hamilton running up from his safety spot and earning the sack.
This rookie was already being tested as he tries to lead a comeback here in the second half. Now he's got to get some momentum back after that sack and a big loss.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now a throw for the left sideline, and he's got it. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on, because right now he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Back to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Tight defense there on 3rd down, but what a product of good coaching and even better execution, because he realized he's in field goal range. No sense forcing anything, and he made sure he didn't.
So on 4th down, Ritter heads to the sideline. Younghoe Koo gets set for the Atlanta field goal. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. Koo knocks this one through the post, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll go option to the short side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Really good effort. He does it himself, picks up 15, also picks up the first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Come on. Hey.
He's going to keep this again. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper. A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On 3rd and short, they'll try option left. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And that'll go for a gain of 18 on the keeper. First down. I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Here's the option going right. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Dobbins hit and he fumbles. And the Falcons grab it. There he goes right side. The 40. Past the 20. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. And he'll get in for the 2 points, and that'll cut the deficit down to just a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him. Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Dobbins trying the left side. They find some open field here. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Now that's how you start to get back in the good graces of your head coach. Remember, he fumbled on the last possession. How about the faith they showed him, giving him the ball again, and he repaid them, picking up a first down.
Let's go now.
Here's Huntley. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Arnold Ebiketie able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take-that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. He'll decide to keep this once more. And this is going to be back-to-back tackles for a loss here as the Falcons defense yet again drops him behind the line. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
Considering they've seen him have some big gains against him throughout this game, that's got to feel like a measure of revenge as they trap him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Operating from the gun, Huntley. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
Things started a little slow for him as a runner, but he has really found a different gear here in this 2nd half. He's been more aggressive, challenging the defense when he sees an opportunity. And now he has a 100-yard game to show for it.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. Oh, the return is Prochet. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The offense for the Ravens returns to the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. And he'll take this to about the 24, a gain of 3.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. To throw on 3rd down. Huntley forced out to his left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. And just a yard to go here on 2nd down. They'll go option to the short side. Give him 4 yards as he does it himself, and it's a 1st down. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the 1st down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the 1st down, get a new set, and let's start over.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll look to throw. This one left side caught by Patterson. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
On 2nd down, a run with Patterson. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. Toward the sideline, it's complete. An athletic grab, but still well short of the first. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to make it 4th down. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the first.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a first down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. They'll start with the option. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable. But that time, the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Now a handoff for Dobbins.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14.
I think it might be time to move to a different section of the playbook there, because back-to-back runs, both for loss. Now they have 3rd and long coming up.
The offense on 3rd down, they're hitting it just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 14.
He gets this underneath to Dobbins.
And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. 5 yards, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
The Ravens send their punter out now. He's been terrific so far. Gets by him at the 25. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And out will come the offense as they take over. Atlanta now coming out on the field.
Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Back to throw here. Zacchaeus here hauling it in. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On first down, going back to Patterson. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They're going to look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Patterson. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Looking to throw. Got his man. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing that danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Huntley to throw. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space,
I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
You hate to give the ball away here in the fourth quarter while you're just holding a slim lead. But that punt, absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line. They give their defense a really nice opportunity.
Atlanta regains possession of the football. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Straight ahead, Patterson. Well, that gives them a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5. And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. They'll run with a rookie from BYU, Tyler Algier. And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on for the 5th time here today. Prochet on the return. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Jalen Hawkins is there to bring him down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
To throw, Huntley. Flushed out right. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback. I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Patterson again. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. He'll look to throw. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Huntley. Throw right side here, taken in by Bateman. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Operating from the gun. Huntley. That's into the hands of Prochet. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on here to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be Falcon football. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. The last series form a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll set up to throw. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially
the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Dancing to his left. And this is going to be incomplete.
No surprise there. He was looking for one of his favorite targets again as soon as he left the pocket. But the coverage was good downfield. They get right to the receiver and help prevent that completion.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. This is taken at the 18. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
And not much of an opening there as he's only going to get this to about the 32. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
He's going to keep this again. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Up the middle, it's Edwards. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to kick it away. Averaging 50 yards of boot so far as this one's away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So now Ritter and the Falcons down 34-31. A little under a minute 50 remaining. They need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw. Steps away to his left. Into the hands of Bird over the middle. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. This is where you learn a lot about rookie quarterbacks. How can they run that 2-minute drill? We're about to find out.
Yeah, and for them, it's not just proving it to guys like you and me watching the game and trying to beat a defense. It's proving it to their teammates that they can have the confidence in them when they line up in these situations.
Handoff running left, Patterson. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
1st down now, but the clock continues to move. They'll look to throw. And that one nearly intercepted. That would have sealed it. Instead, it'll be 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Able to find Patterson. Ooh, with a juke. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a 1st down for the Falcons.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Back to throw. He's got Ferkser. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Here's second and a yard. Running left, here's Patterson.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch victory.
Ritter trying to get them up to the line here in a hurry.
Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. He's back to throw. Over the middle, he gets it to Patterson.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38. What a game we were treated to in this one. And on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffered the loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting it to midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone and make that miracle happen. A really good ending to an entertaining contest, though.